Thursday night? Hall of Fame game night? The Bucky Irving episode? Where else would you be but the Dynasty Daddy Best Ball Draft stream? I think we're going to be doing some weekly winners tonight. I mentioned this, I think 2 weeks ago we did a weekly winners, and I am just, I want to have a couple of bullets in the chamber is what I'll call it. But let's let the intro play. Talk through some of the big news and some Hall of Fame game reaction. We're actually seeing, I mean, Hampton's got 2 carries. Kyle Allen's got 2 picks. Let's go. We are here. And yeah, I like having, I call them bullets in the chamber for weekly winners. I think it's a pretty like ridiculous contest in terms of like expecting to win your money back when you're having to beat an entire field of people on a 1 week sample. But it is kind of nice to have a couple teams or a handful of teams built to where each week I get to kind of check and see where I'm at on the weekly winners leading up into the actual like primetime games. So I think it's fun. So, and also nobody can tell me to not draft weekly winners teams. So, you know, we got 6 other episodes if you guys want to see some non-weekly winners drafts. Waiting on 2 people here, but I can get the let's talk big news. Hall of Fame game happening right now. I see the Lions are in the red zone. Sorry if anybody's gonna watch it back and doesn't want any spoilers. All right, we are in a draft here. Bang. So I think biggest news stuff, I think the Terry McLaurin requesting a trade is, I'm going to call that posturing. Is that the word? You know what I'm talking about. Contract negotiation stuff. I think like the Sutton deal, I think maybe he potentially would have brought what Terry's asking for closer to what the Commanders would be willing to sign and get done right now. But still, with all that being said, obviously not great news during the Hall of Fame game to see that your star receiver has requested a trade. I think a deal gets done. I think it's pretty unlikely that they would have a rookie contract quarterback. And I mean, Terry McLaurin kind of feels like in that vein of players on teams that just aren't going to take the discount, deserve the money. This is his last chance to get paid. But it just feels like I just don't see a scenario where breaking report from Shefty that Terry McLaurin is now a New England Patriot. But yeah, the Hall of Fame game stuff. I mean, saw a couple carries from Hampton. Could not turn the corner. A lot of people are going to be analyzing and breaking down that one run in the red zone in the Hall of Fame game as to why he's a bust. 2 carries, 9 yards. Not much. I mean, on the Detroit side, I mean, obviously you weren't expecting to see any of the starters. I think the most interesting thing for a dynasty is I do think it's an open battle for the QB2 spot, where I think a lot of people would have pegged Hendon Hooker for that pretty naturally. But I think we saw with Teddy Bridgewater the other season getting the start in a situation where you would have assumed it would have been Hendon Hooker's time to shine. Obviously tough backup quarterbacks to beat out for a rookie. Wow. Okay, weekly winners, we see Lamar go there. I mean, I'll take Saquon. I mean, pure weekly winning upside. Good player, good offense is what I'm looking for. What the? Let me. Don't mind me. All right, I see we have some chat messages that I'm not seeing. Evening chat. What's up, Rayru? What's up, Birds Builds? I will figure out a way to get you guys on the stream ASAP. It is my mission, and I'm on it right now. Don't worry, guys. You seem worried, but I'm telling you, Don't be. I have figured out things before, and by golly, I'm gonna do it again. Oh, I see the issue. I do this. Bang. I do this. Yo. You guys see the yo? Guess who else sees the yo? Me. Let's go. From here on out, we've got chat messages, and I'm on the clock. Perfect timing. All right. We could go. Okay. Can't double stack. Genty. Could go BTJ. Let's go BTJ. The only thing is, because I go Saquon there, like, there's a part of me that really wants to hit running back, but I think weekly winners, I think you do kind of want the elite receiver if possible, because I think you can hit spike weeks easier, but as far as like stacking goes, it's hard once you get past. I mean, you could talk me into JMO or the Metcalf Pickens, but as far as like every week there's an elite ceiling, I think you really want to have one of those BTJ Nico guys. What is up, Big Diaz? Chat, Birds Builds, Ray Rue. I can see you in spirit. I can't see you in terms of pulling up the chat messages. Who's watching the Hall of Fame game? Any Hall of Fame game watchers? I had it on a little bit. My Lions. Kind of getting clapped a little bit, but you know, that's on Kyle Allen, all right? All right, let's lock in here. Saquon BTJ. I would take Jaden Daniels. I would not take Hurts. I would take Hampton. Okay, I am probably leaning. I mean, I would take Jacobs too, but he probably goes. Okay, we see Jacobs and Jaden Daniels go. I'm just going to quick check. I think Hampton feels pretty clear. And we got to see some action in the Hall of Fame game. You know, 2 carries for 9 yards. No, I will say, I don't know if anybody saw Hampton turn that corner. Right when I saw that happen, I was like, oh man, Twitter. I just immediately go to Twitter. Let's go. Watching a Packers podcast. What's the, you know what? I am a Lions fan who will talk smack. I definitely was on Twitter tweeting out the sweep emojis or the broom emojis when Packers fans were crying. I will do that, but I can be a civilized man and talk about how the Bears are severely overrated. We all agree there. Everyone assumes that Ben Johnson is the quarterback whisperer and Caleb Williams is gonna lead the league in passing touchdowns. Give me your order. You're probably Packers 1, Lions 2. Ooh. Am I wrong that Tyreek's ADP is way too high here, or just weekly winners? Okay, this is weekly winners. And he does kind of feel like, I mean, where'd he go in this draft? That's about where he goes. I don't know what his ADP is, I guess. 23.6. That's about what his normal ADP is, isn't it? Isn't he like I think he's pushing up. He was like a 2-3 turn guy, and I think I've seen him go a lot at the end of the second. I think the third rounder receivers are like pretty overrated. All right. I think it's pretty easily Kittle. I mean, we have 2 running backs. The wide receivers, like I mean, I do really want to go Rice. I want to go Worthy. But as far as like week winning upside, I feel confident in my ability to go. I just type in T-Law thinking that was going to show me Trevor Lawrence. All right, we're going to do this, but we're going to be smart about it. What also is nice about this is I feel like Jawan Jennings will probably fall with the, I think it's like a re-report. I think we already knew that the calf injury was happening, and I think it just got, like it was rediscussed in like an interview or something. Okay, Packers, Vikings too. Birds, I'm going to need, Come on, dude. Miss me with the same coaching staff stuff as last year. Here's what I will say. One, check your local sportsbook app, whatever you use, and let me know where the Lions are at in Super Bowl odds. I believe they are still top 7 in the league. And I promise the sportsbooks are aware of the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. I think the Ragnow stuff, I will buy the Ragnow retiring. That is hurt. That's gonna hurt. Nothing else I can say about that. But to me, this team, the like offensive talent. Yes, Ben Johnson. I love Ben Johnson. Great offensive coordinator. Would love for him to stay. I think he's gonna do well in Chicago. I think it is gonna take some time. But Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, J-Mo, Sam Laporta, David Montgomery. Come on. All right. Okay, I do. Oh. All right, Travis Hunter, I probably would take, honestly, if this wasn't. All right, I actually do really like Calvin Ridley this year. And I think in a weekly winners contest, I like him more than a lot of these other receivers. So let's do this. Let us probably go another receiver. I will say the one nice thing about doing this is because of the investment you put into running back. If you go like Saquon or Gentry or Hampton, like if you go first, second, 2 running backs in the first 3 rounds, you really can. I mean, maybe you take one if there's a really good value you like. But to me, I don't need to touch this range if I don't want to. Like, you could talk me into like Harvey. I probably wouldn't do Swift or Montgomery or Pacheco or Caleb Johnson. I'd rather take the receivers. I think I do have to go receiver. It's just hard for me to believe that I would hit weekly winners starting Saquon Hampton, and it's like a monster Swift week is like what is pushing me over the edge. All right, I like Rome here. Let's see, we're not picking again until 80. Okay, let's go Rome. We can let these people take these QBs. And then maybe we have flexibility with the next pick. Like I would go like Aaron Jones, potentially. Less into Brian Robinson. But we could also go receiver still. There we go. Here's a true mana culture. Lions pack, Vikes Bears. It is, I will say, regardless of your order, would not surprise me if, I mean, people are already starting to mention it, if the NFC North is just considered one of the best divisions in the league. Yeah, I agree. It will be close this year. They're trying to slander Ben Johnson on the airwaves. Fire my coach. Yeah, there's a little twinkle in my eye when I see like podcasts or fantasy people talking about Ben Johnson being like a fake tough guy and trying to like instill I'm the boss man head coach stuff and just not being very likable. Mostly because he's not a Lions staff anymore. But yeah, man, you can't just, there's not many Dan Campbells in the world. I would venture to say there's only one Motor City Dan. I'm in Washington State. Sports gambling is illegal here. I don't have sportsbook access. Dang. Be careful. Any new sports bettors, I highly recommend anyone stepping into the game to have responsible gambling. Here's my responsible gambling pitch. You have a bankroll of whatever you're comfortable fully losing, because it is gambling, even if it's, sports betting. Hey, I'm basically doing that right now. It's a game of skill though, this fantasy draft. And I'm the skillist. But bankroll, have wait, I gotta lock it for this pick. Give me a minute. All right, Jawan Jennings, you could talk me into, and I just bank that I'm hitting the Niners. I don't mind Aaron Jones though. I feel like some of these other receivers I can still get. Somebody take Ibuka. Wow, 63. Word. Word. Okay, 102. Okay, Josh Downs goes. Let's start Aaron Jones. I do like. All right, what other? I get the like may lose goal line work Mason stuff, but to me, in a weekly winners contest, I think Aaron Jones is just one of those backs who, even at his age, has like the pass catching big play upside. Someone on Twitter called him uppity. Honestly, I get it. Dynasty's my sports betting. This is the true way to do it. True. Debo getting the Chlorine holdout boost already? I've kind of been more in on Debo this year just because of the Cliff Kingsbury offensive scheme stuff. Like if there was ever a situation for Debo to like leave what is regarded as just the best offensive situation for a guy like Debo when they're using him that way, I think all the hype Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is getting right now in terms of like potentially winning the running back job, and you know he might be the starter by December. To me, that kind of bodes well for Debo just being someone that's utilized in that department. You know what I'm saying? All right, Mahomes is falling, but I can't take him. It just doesn't make sense, weekly winners, to even take like the falling value of a Mahomes. With Mahomes still being on the board, I think somebody will take Fields and somebody will take Mahomes for sure, which makes me want to hit receiver here. I am a little afraid of the Godwins. Okay, it's fine. That's fine. All right, this one wasn't as bad. You could say that this guy, or this guy could have taken him, right? Do you still think B-Rob is worth a second? I think so. I for me, the like 1 to 2 year running back bet calls are all worth a second, league format depending, but it's more of who you want to place your bet on. And like when I say that, it's more of like nobody is trading away a potential starting running back for a third, right? Whether it's Tony Pollard, whether it's James Conner, I mean maybe Brian Robinson, but to me, I wouldn't pay a second for Brian Robinson Jr. unless like the format was like really strong PPC, very running back dependent. The war graph was extremely pointing towards running backs mattering, and I just was depraved in that position. All right, we could go. I still like T-Law, Purdy being the 2 picks, and actually I can go Cam Ward too. Calvin Ridley, and then maybe the cheap tight end receivers I grab are like Chig and whatnot. You get Brenton Strange too. I thought he was lower than this. But I guess the more straightforward answer to your question is probably yes in some capacity. But I mean, that's the most I think you would ever get for him, and I wouldn't pay that for him specifically. I'd find more creative ways to get players like Brian Robinson. All right, Tyler Warren goes. Mixon still down here? Or is it Andrews? I mean, here's my thing. I understand set to miss extended time. Totally get that. But for me, I think I can like stop at running back now and just hammer receiver. Like I don't feel that much better about a 1 week upside of the wide receivers versus Brandon Ayuk, who is also going to be hurt. I do like Michael Pittman. I mean, that's probably one I probably would have taken. But I do need to start hammering receiver. So let's go receiver here at 113. And at 128, we hope we get T-Law. A lot of quarterbacks still on the board. A couple past ADP too, which is nice. And a couple interesting ones, right? I mean, like this guy reaches up for Penix because he wants to get him with Drake London. Like I totally get that. But I think I'm just going to bank on the Travis Hunter drafter not taking him. All right, where did Travis Hunter go? Right here. He already took Kyler and Dak, so I should be good there. Okay. This Dobbins is kind of calling my name, guys. Is this a bad way to play the format? Banking on these 3 receivers? All right, I'm going to do this. And running back is hitting our flex. I mean, these are all... I think you could talk me into all of these guys having smash RB1 weeks. But while people are grabbing their Nick Chubbs and Garendos and Jaden Blues and Trey Bensons and Dylan Sampsons, I will be grabbing Cedric Tillman, QJ, Josh Palmer, Luther Burden. This next pick probably does need to be a quarterback, though. I think we do need to make sure we're stacked up. Unless there's a wide receiver I'd love. All right, Lions, let's get a touchdown here. Huh? Jacobs, Walker, Connor, B-Rob, Mason, Spears, Williams, Wright, Blue, and JCM. Dang. How many starters? I feel like I look at this kind of running back room and I'm very down to sell whoever you feel like you could sell between. I mean, I guess I don't mind holding Connor. I mean, it'd be great if you could flip Mason, Spears, or honestly any of those running backs to the right people. It's shallow enough. He does look good. It is Trey Lance. No, don't take a sack, Kyle. Kyle, we're sliding. Down 14. Get the first down, brother. All right. Can we go? Okay, the QBs are starting to go. Okay, Colson Loveland goes. Maybe this is just T-Law. Kirk. Yeah, let's just go T-Law. He's 100% now. So now we have these spike weeks of Purdy, Kittle, and T-Law, BTJ. The nice thing about weekly winners, and I think the right way to play it, is being very specific in your stacks. And like skinny stacks, I do really like in typical standard best ball, but double stacks, I really like in weekly winners. And I think triple stacks are a little much. You need like 4 or 5 touchdowns for triple stacks to matter. Start 10, Superflex 2RB. Yeah, I mean, I think the like perfect way to play Dynasty is to sell whatever excess value you have that is potentially going to deteriorate over future years, and the running back position is one of those. Not just because I have like strong player takes on those backs, but just, I mean, just look at the running back landscape. Like outside of the studs that you know year after year are going to be the RB1s for teams. I mean, think about how much movement there is across the league of here today, gone tomorrow. People trading first for Travis Etienne, and now he's losing his job to Tank Bigsby. Life comes at you fast, man. All right. Like I said, we're able to hit these. Next, there's some tight ends I still like too. With the likely injury, I am not as interested in him. I think Josh Palmer is an awesome weekly winners pick. Quinshon Judkins is an interesting pick, but even if I was willing to take on that risk, I don't think I like him enough to force it. Insert Buffalo Bills receiver that's going to run 70% plus routes is a banger pick. Maybe I'm overestimating my Josh Palmer route share. But I'm a big money talks in terms of contracts and expectations for players. All right, here we go. Hunter, Ayuk, or Tyreek Sutton Mims, 12 by 10, 0.5 PPR. I'm probably going Hunter Ayuk. 0.5 PPR is interesting. I think it's pretty even because I do really like Tyreek and Sutton this year. But I think that you get 2 outs of upside with Hunter and Ayuk. And I think both of them will carry the value and name cachet for you to be able to move them when a positive news situation happens, right? So for Ayuk, he's off the pup, you know. He goes 3 for 40 in a week, but he was only playing 60% of the snaps while he's, you know, gearing back up. Then I think you can move him. You know, Travis Hunter has one great game, and you're moving him for Tyreek Sutton plus, you know. And I think when those kind of deals are even, I do like leaning the dynasty value-wise side. Like one of those sides could get you into elite assets. Definitely rated in Dynasty. Yeah, injury stuff is tough because you just never know how players are going to bounce back from that kind of thing. All right. Jalen McMillan is interesting. Romeo Doubs is interesting. Jake Ferguson, I like. Tight end wise. Okay, I do really like Jake Ferguson. Just got the 4-year contract extension. I liked him before the contract extension for me. Like, I love the Pickens thing. And I think, like, the weekly upside is capped for a guy like Jake Ferguson. But I think all the positive things people are saying about Pickens in terms of look at the running back room. This team is going to be high pass rate, full DAC season, going to lead the league in passing touchdowns and yardage. Like, that benefits a tight end that just got a 4-year contract extension, too. What up, Curtis? In a 10-team Superflex 0.5 PPR, a guy has set his price for Josh Allen to be a QB and a starting receiver. My QB room is Stroud, Murray, May, Lawrence. My receivers are Lamb, Neighbors, Hill, JSN, Garrett Wilson, Odunze, Hunter. Very deep at receiver. I would definitely, I see your second part here. I definitely would. I guess I'll read this. I'm going to make my pick and then I'm going to lock in for you. What would be the highest combo of QB and receiver you would give up for Allen in a 10-team Superflex 0.5 PPR? It's interesting. All right, I'm coming back to this. I'm locking in for this pick. Dylan Sampson's interesting. I need more wide receiver darts. Do I go QB? Are these wide receivers? Jalen McMillan. Okay, maybe it is Cam Ward. And then we just smash receiver and tight end. Do you think I'm getting Brenton Strange in this next pick? I don't know. Everyone has one tight end at least. I really don't need him with all right, lock in here. All right, so we need a starting quarterback and wide receiver. So if we start lowest, I mean, you're stacked. I would definitely be trying to make this tier up for Allen. T-Law, May, Shroud. So if we start T-Law, I mean, I would do, with your wide receiver room, I would do T-Law and any non-Lamb Neighbors receiver. Is that crazy? Try to play Dynasty. I can play the stock market, buy low and sell high. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. And I do love the intricacies of Dynasty too. My favorite aspect of it is there are like so many games within the game of people knowing what you're trying to do with certain moves and kind of the gamification of how you go about building your roster the way you want to build it. So there's a lot of times where I'm making moves because I think it'll let me make different moves later, like trading for, you know, moving, like I'm talking about with your running backs, right? Trading some of whatever the most interesting excess running backs are for seconds, where in the season, like it's great to have a second, but like rookie draft time, you know, in this league, hey, I'm able to tack on player plus mid-second. That gets me to the early second or the late first, where that you can really capitalize on your value versus what that running back would have been. All right, let's lock in here. We did not get Brenton Strange to come back. I'm not going to reach for another tight end. Guys, what about a little DeAndre Hopkins? Huh? Thoughts? Can still get Darius Slayton? You're going to tell me that they're not going to have DeAndre Hopkins just in on every red zone possession? Maybe not. He probably doesn't have the legs for that, but okay, let's start some. The tough thing about Tennessee, so Chig is a good star. He'd be a good pick here. Let's do that. Chig. I mean, the better play is probably to just hit wide receiver so hard here, but I do have 3 picks left. So I can go tight end and 2 receivers. Decent. Any of the QBs that you wouldn't move with one of the wide receivers that aren't Lamb neighbors. Yeah. Here's the thing, Bird, and I don't know the starters, but I'm assuming it's a pretty shallow league. All right, let me lock in here. I don't think I want to get Thornton. I think I like a lot of these receivers pretty similarly. So let's get Chiggy. So now we have double Tennessee stack. We have Purdy Kittle stack. We have T-Law BTJ stack. We weren't able to get Strange. If this was Strange, I just love Ferg so much more than I love Brenton Strange. Weekly upside. Yeah, it's a 10-team start 10. It's shallow, and he's stacked at receiver. Like these are kind of the dream trades for me. Like you could plug it into a trade calculator or have your opinions on values of player, and I'm sure there's some way where you could cash out on the value in a better way than taking one of those receivers and one of those quarterbacks and turning it into Josh Allen. But to me, when you have 4 starting quarterbacks, I am doing everything I can to tier up. So to me, it's like, I mean, I would do it for any. Honestly, I would do it for any of the quarterbacks. Like, pick your favorite, but I wouldn't want to trade away. Yeah, I don't love doing the pick your favorite just because I am a May Murray Stroud guy. I mean, I like T-Law too. Dude, when you just have Lamb neighbors, and if you trade away one of Odunze, Hunter, Garrett Wilson, JSN, 10-team start 10, you still have Lamb, Neighbors, Hill, JSN, Garrett Wilson, Odunze. Hill retires, you still have 5 receivers that you're trying to jam into, I assume, 4 starting spots. So, yeah. I hear you. I hear you. I am just, and maybe it's this, guys. I find a way to show it every stream. I am a big Josh Allen guy. I would just, if I was worried about, if I was overpaying for Josh Allen, I'd click that little sleeper tab where you get to see their finishes over the past 5 seasons and just recognize GOAT status. All right, I'm 29. Maybe I need to not say recognize GOAT status. All right, Keenan. This is a good team for Keenan. Talking with teams. Keenan goes to the Niners, huh? Juwan Jennings injury more serious than we expected. Ricky Pearsall gets shot again. Okay. All right, who is the last receiver pick? Weekly winners, guys. I want to do one of these. I guess I don't need to. I already have the 2 Tennessees. Sammy Brown is gone. Iowa Manor just went. Shipley, Schultz, John Johnson. Latavian Wicks. Okay. Little Lambert Smith, little Hall of Fame game. Oh, I kind of like Jermaine Burton. That's funny. I actually do like Jermaine Burton. We'll go Jermaine Burton. I'm trying to shoot upside, and to me, Burton is knucklehead status plus. I mean, I kind of like Jalen Royals too. Let's go Burton. Maybe he locked in this season, guys. All right, I kind of like this team. The guy who has Allen won the league last year. I believe it, man. In these shallow leagues, do not underestimate the positional advantage. So I mean, McBride and Warren at tight end, love that. RBs are CMC, just got this offseason. Brees, Kamara, Dobbins, feel like getting a top tier QB. Yeah, for sure. And two, like, there will come a time. Maybe we'll get one more QB hit, and Allen's pushing, you know, those early mid 30s, and people are talking about when are the wheels gonna fall off? But to me, I just see no reason to not expect Josh Allen to be QB 1 through 3 for this season. And he holds that value so strong. Like, you can get out. If you're worried next year, you're like, I overpaid. You can cash out however you want with elite quarterbacks. That's the beautiful part. All right, we are going to do another. Go again. Or yeah, let's do another weekly winners. I talked about it. I wanted to get more bullets in the chamber. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I think without seeing that and just hearing me talk about, like, yeah, dude, just trade him T-Law and Travis Hunter, or, you know, Garrett Wilson and Drake May, you're like, okay, whoa, let's slow down there. But yeah, I think stacked receiver room. You're deep at quarterback too. So, like, you're hoping to up tier. Do we think that people forget Mahomes and Allen are the same age? Dude, the Mahomes stuff is interesting. Guys, where are we at with old Patty Mahomes? Also, bing, bang, bong. Actually, I think I already have a weekly winners 101 team. But we got the one. Got that 1-0 1. 1-0 win. Bang. I like to star him just in case. Yeah, the Mahomes stuff is really interesting. I actually just bought Mahomes in a league that it's pretty unique scoring stuff. Like, there is some small PPC stuff, but it is a little bit juiced, like passing yardage and touchdown stuff for quarterbacks and big play bonuses and everything. So I usually don't do these kind of moves, but I traded Kyler and a first for Mahomes. The team's pretty sick. It's a little bit less sick though, because it had Joe Mixon on it. My running backs are like Pollard, Kamara, Joe Mixon. I think I have some fun rookies, like Darquez Hunter or something. We're gonna get these daddy leagues set up soon. I think we're pretty close to 24 total signups, and we'll make a decision pretty soon on if we'll do one more blast of like, hey, who wants to sign up for these to push for 3 leagues, or if we'll just keep it at 2 for now. And I think one will be, we're gonna do like a poll vote, because I know Big Diaz really wants to do a best ball, so maybe we'll do like one best ball, one lineup league. Hey. No, I hear you. I hear you. I do have respect and appreciation for the many dynasty leagues adding up. Where do we sign up? I'm glad you asked. If you want to head over to the free Discord, link in the description, you head to the Join a Daddy League channel in the main tab, main group, whatever, I don't know what it's called, under the general chat. Join a Daddy League, fill out the Google form, $20. Right now it's 12 by 10, 0.75, 10 in premium, super flex. We are going to set up a poll and kind of do some voting and see. We'll do, I think, probably one best ball, one lineup league. And yeah, should be a good time. I'm gonna try to do like cool ways to feature it on the channel. Like we'll do some like check-ins, like, oh, how's the startup looking on the Tuesday night streams and everything. So it'll be cool. Like, I'm looking forward to it. What is up, Brandon? How are we doing tonight? I am doing great. My Lions are losing the Hall of Fame game, but it's okay. Real football is almost back. All right, we are here, and I mean, I think I got to do it. All right, Chase Brown, and I'm not. Oh, should I double stack? I think I double stacked last time to prevent getting sniped. But let's do that, and let's go. I do like having one smash running back. Whether it's, I'm fine taking Jacobs or Kyron or Bucky at the turn in weekly winners. Kyron and Hampton, I can do. But to me, those running backs versus T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson, Devontae, Mike Evans, Terry McLaurin, JSN, I just feel so much better about the weekly upside of the running back spot there. And it is a half PPR site. Oh, that is brutal. Yeah, it's tough too. And then you get hit with like the unexpected outs. Player didn't fly. Mahomes for Kyler in the first is tough for me. I'd have to think about it. Yeah, I will say that I do think I would take that deal in most other leagues. Like, I'm very in on like Mahomes name value. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not letting Mahomes fall to the early or the late second of startups. Like, I still think he deserves to. I mean, I'm probably taking a lot of the elite receivers over him. Oh my gosh. They're running all over us, guys. Sorry, I shouldn't be distracted by the Hall of Fame game. That shouldn't be something that somebody does. Are those mainly redraft leagues and best ball, or are you setting up some dynasty leagues as well? So these are, oh, my guy. Where are you right now? Look around. Dynasty Daddy. These are dynasty leagues, bro. Forever. We won't let you leave. You will be exiled from the community if you orphan. Nah, it's okay. We'll talk about it. We are going to be league safe league guys, though. Don't get any funny ideas. But no, these are going to be dynasty leagues. It's just a matter of one of them being a best ball league for our boy Big DS here. I get it. I don't get it because I assume I'm in less leagues than you. But yeah, if I had like 5 more lineup leagues, I'd be asking for best ball as well. I don't play in a lot of best ball. I'm in like 2 best ball leagues. There's just something about the like lineup feel that it gets me going. And I do have the time to mindlessly set my lineups. All right, let's lock in here. The one thing with weekly winners is you do want to grab a running back, I think, early, just because you start to get into like David Montgomery and down. Like, I can talk myself into some of these guys giving me weeks. But as far as like week in and week out, I'm happy that I have this. All right, Terry McLaurin. All right, we do get Burrow to come back to us. I think we do have to take him, unfortunately. Burrow. Let's do Burrow. And then I think this deal gets done. Yeah, sleeper. It is so unfortunate though, just because sleeper's just so clearly, in my opinion, the best UI, but UI is probably not the best word. What's a word, guys? Because the UI can be brutal. Sluggish is a good descriptor for it. Beauty would love to hop into the Dynasty Leagues. Hard for dumb questions. Haven't been on the Discord. Yeah, I downloaded yesterday. Oh, no. And don't. Sometimes I'm a little performative on the streams. You know, you guys come see me on the street. I'm probably not doing all this. I'm probably not hitting you with the brother. Look around you. You know, I'm trying to be entertaining for you guys. And myself. But no worries at all. And welcome to the Discord. And welcome to the Daddy Leagues. I'm looking forward to it, guys. Jeremy and I are going to be in those with you. We might do 1-1. Like, he's in one, I'm in one. We'll see. I think it's the best UI, but definitely sluggish. Yeah. I think UI, when I say UI, I'm referring to like look and feel or whatever. And I feel like a lot of times people think UI is just look, you know. But I think we all know what we're talking about. I don't think I need to get too intricate. It was like fun. Heck yeah. Yeah, it'd be cool to reference on the streams and stuff. Like, here's this startup. We're gonna have Discord channels for the leagues where I think we'll keep them open and we'll post like trades. Maybe I'll do like updates of like, here are all the matchups and stuff. Like, I think it'll be cute. It'll be fun, you know? Aren't we all looking for a little bit more cute and fun in our lives? And I want to find a way to do like badges. You know how you can have Dynasty Daddy badges where that's what you see on your profile and what you see in the top left when you log into Dynasty Daddy? I think it'd be cool for that to have like, you won the league one year and you get a badge, or you were the highest scorer across all leagues, or that league for the whole season, you get a badge or something. I don't know. We'll see. These are a lot of things that I'm like throwing around at the wall, and Jeremy smiles and nods, and I think we're gonna. I think it's a yes. When I get a smile and a nod from Jeremy, to me it's approval. As long as me and K Scott are in the same league, I'm game for it all. Let's go. Heck yeah, we can make that happen. Do you have a best ball or preference? I think I'll probably do a poll that's like, I want to be in the best ball 100%. I want to be in this lineup league 100%. I'm open to either. And then we can split it out that way. Dynasty. Well, they'll both be Dynasty. But are you saying lineup? All right, this pick here: Burrow, Jacobs, Chase, Terry. We do have Bowers. We don't need to touch wide receiver or tight end. We do need to touch wide receiver. All right, you could talk me. Do I just take too much Aaron Jones, guys? Am I too in on Aaron Jones this year? Like, is this Aaron Jones, Diggs, or something? And then we can get Drake May later. All right, you open your app, you're checking the weekly winner scores, and you go, oh my gosh, look at this team. This guy had Burrow, Chase stacked. Jacobs had in his 3-touchdown game. Aaron Jones in his 100-yard 2-touchdown game. Terry McLaurin, the touchdown regression didn't hit. Stephon Diggs is healthy now. And Brock Bowers. What are the odds somebody says that? Recently discovered the War Tool on Dynasty Daddy and super interesting. Yes, highly recommend. I think it is. I like you. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with the War Tool where you can do year over year. You can do positions and you can do position history where you're not just looking at a player name. You can look at player name, obviously, but you can do like the RB1, the RB2, the RB3, and you could do it over a sample of like 5 years and get a look at, because I mean, there year over year, there's like differences in scoring, right? It's all pretty similar, but there's years where, last year a lot of high-end receivers got hurt and the running back stayed healthy. So like the high-end performers, I mean, CMC, whatever, there's examples, but you get what I'm saying. There's ways where you can really, really break it down that I think is really cool. I may have already asked this at one point. Is Igbuka 1.5 worthy? I own 1.4 and 1.5 with no backs. Henderson is a smash for me. Ooh. I will say, if you are trying to get somebody to give you approval to take Igbuka at the 1.5, you're talking to the right person. So I read this first question and I saw Igbuka worthy and I was like, you're trading Xavier Worthy in the 105 for Igbuka? I think Igbuka deserves to be in the conversation. I probably would still take Travion Henderson over Igbuka just because the hit rate of early second round running backs, I like the offense. I like the prospect enough. But I think anytime after that. Yeah, I know. I'm done. No, you're good, dude. I honestly didn't even realize people did Dynasty Best Ball leagues. I thought that was strictly for redraft or best ball. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, if you understand the concept of best ball, like you could see how easily it could be applied to Dynasty. And I think Dynasty, in the same way it does for how you would approach a redraft league, just opens up the door for possibilities of, yeah, I mean, with best ball, you can do it even more so. Like in terms of tanking, what assets you're holding to, make sure you are getting the 101. Being able to roster construct in certain ways where optimal for the scoring format. Like all right, I do like me a falling Chris Godwin here, but I think this guy takes him. No, take Kyler. Kyler, stack with your mark, bro. Or Cooper Kupp. Sure, man. Okay, Godwin is hurt right now. No timeline to practice yet. Does look like a sketchy thing to read. All right, Dobbins, Scatabo, Fields. Fields is interesting, I will say. Let's do this. Let's go Fields. The only other quarterback we would touch would be this guy. And this guy if he falls. Maybe that should have been a running back. And I could have taken a wide receiver. Or I could have taken Drake May instead of the position player I'm going to take there. Yeah, a little regret. It's okay. Must have dropped a dirty wordy. My is froze. Oh, gosh. Hey, no dirty wordies in the chat, guys. Come on. Anderson will take for sure. Yeah. So 1.5. I don't know what to do about it because yeah. I mean, if you're are you? It's a super flex league, and are you saying instead of Cam Ward? Did you do your mini golden? I think I did. I do a lot of the single entries. I always hit the single entries just because I know I've talked about this before. I am not a guy who's going to max BBM. I do not have max BBM money. I will have some tickets in BBM. I do try to get close to maxing the like $5-ish contests that end up being like 50 to 100 to max. Like I like doing that. I am definitely more into best ball for the enjoyment of drafting. I do like the keeping my finger on the pulse. I feel like it helps me like stay more in tune with a lot of report stuff, like even more so than I would for just my standard dynasty leagues. Obviously for content stuff, I'm very in tune with stuff, but being like constantly in best ball drafts and reacting to ADP stuff, I really like. Yeah, Drake May goes there. So I guess that was a good pick, or a fine pick to take Fields. RB3 is brutal though. But here's the thing, RB3 is brutal, but that would have meant that instead of Fields, it was like J.K. Dobbins, who, if J.K. Dobbins is smashing this year, Will's making a lot of money. Trust me, guys. But yeah, I typically do the single entry stuff just because I know I'm gonna do it. Like, I mean, if I'm being chillin' and I see a single entry, I'm popping that champagne. I would take them back to back for sure. Henderson and Ibuka. If Ted or Hunter are still there, I'd take one of them over him. I also would. I still am McMillan and Hunter over Ibuka, but I will tell you, Ibuka is I would not scoff at a 106, and he probably is my 107. There you go. I got the 101, took Chase, then Higgins, McBride, and K9, and Burrow to start. Banger. I will say, I had the nards to not. I think when I do take Chase, I think I did one on stream. I think 2 weeks ago, I had a Chase Higgins, then got Burrow back start. And I was yapping about how smart I was to take Higgins with Chase because the Chase Brown drafter is not likely to take him ahead of ADP. All right. We're not taking Geno here. Don't get it twisted. I do like Spears. How early would you take Judkins in a weekly winners contest? It is tough that he hasn't signed the contract yet. We're taking 2 players here. I'm either going Shaheed and Spears, or Spears, or I'm either going Spears and Shaheed, or Spears and Judkins. I don't have a lot of Judkins, which is kind of making me want to do these like buying the dip things. Okay. This will probably end up being like taking the falling knife will probably end up being one of my worst picks. That game should be sick. What other games are sick week 17? Lions Vikings, right? That one should be nasty. Ginty, Hampton, Tat, Hunter, Ward, Henderson, Ibuka. Yeah. My one dynasty team for my life order would probably have, I mean, quarterback is so hard just because I think Cam Ward deserves to be in 103 conversations. I like Cam Ward. I actually kind of like the situation. I think the offensive line's improved. I like Calvin Ridley. I like the backs, but it is hard to take him over those wide receivers. There should be no way. Ted or Hunter is at 105, so please send an invite to this league. If Hampton's there, I'll stick 2 running backs. Yeah. No super flex. Okay. Then yeah, for sure. Can't mix anything either, but I live. Oh, love the single or low entries and the super flex. Yeah, I didn't do as many of the super flex. They'll probably drop one more, right? I'll probably do some more of those because I do think they're fun. And I do think that you can make some nuts teams just if people don't understand the format and let quarterbacks fall. But that's got to be what I want to do is I want to max the Superflex contest the day it drops when the ADP is all screwed. That's what I want to do. Somebody remind me next year when the underdog drafts are starting. Have regrets taking Harvey over Ibuka prior to the Dobbins signing. Shaking my head. I will say, I mean, obviously it is a net negative, and I have been taking a lot of Dobbins. I am a believer that he's going to have a role. I think Sean Payton does like using multiple backs, and I mean he's been great for his running backs. But I think that there's a plan with Harvey with where they took him, and that's got to be some sort of Joker light stuff. So I still like Harvey a lot. I wouldn't have too many regrets. No regrets. I mean, Dobbins to me is a death sentence for, I mean, I'm sure Jaleel will still see snaps, but to me, it's just got to be, yeah, Jaleel and Estime are just not doing it for us this year. I'm so glad our draft is until August just for that reason. Yeah, that is interesting. It does make me sad though, because I am not going to get Ibuka I have drafts coming up where I have early seconds that I could probably trade into the late first, but it would be really hard for me to move up to where Ibuka would be. So that is the one sad part. All right, guys, I just got a text from one of my co-owners. He said, can we buy Lambert Smith? And I said, for what? He said, whatever it takes, 4-2 split. The thing is, I think our receivers on this team are kind of nice. We have Ladd, Neighbors, Nico. I don't think we need to buy. We need to buy running backs. What we need. We have Tony Pollard and Caleb Johnson. We have Nico, Neighbors, Ladd, Zay Flowers. Yeah, we do not need that boy. Is he trying to get a wide receiver handcuff? Interesting. All right, coming up here, we have the 2 quarterbacks. So we don't need to look at... And I have Bowers. Okay, I've been seeing a lot of Kyle Williams buzz. I kind of like double tapping these receivers here. Okay, Josh Palmer goes. That's nice. I like both of these receivers. Don't really care. Bang, bang, bang. Okay, kind of sad we didn't get Drake May. I have one more. It's my home league one, and it's always late, and it makes sense because it's from a league where we did a lot of redraft, and the draft was always like right before the season. So it makes sense that they want to do the rookie drafts, kind of similar feel, like you have all the information you need right before the season. To me, I am bummed when it's after preseason starts, because I think that is one of the most fun parts about I like it before training camp. Like calling your shots on rookies and prospects, draft capital situations, and then getting to watch it play out, I think is the most fun part of Dynasty, at least the off season, because then you get to watch training camp, rookie camp, all these like practice reports. You get to go into the preseason. But when you have all the answers to the test, you feel like, there's still going to be hits and misses based off of expectations at that point, but it's just less fun. Dude, I'm telling you, man, nobody's getting as Krispy Kremed as me. And you can clip that. I love Ibuka, dude. I will say, I don't have the greatest takes, but I'll let you know when I love a guy. And I love Ibuka. It really depends on the positional needs. I guess Ray. RBs went Harvey. And I think, the way the position, both of those could be hits. It could, I think people tend to do this like this or that with rookie draft picks because it makes sense, right? You could have had a selection between, a handful of players at each draft spot. But think about all the classes like, Neighbors versus, it's a little bit different. I was about to do Neighbors versus BTJ, but they went so far apart in the actual draft, and the actual comparison would be Neighbors or Marv, where everyone that would make you feel worse. So my bad. Sometimes the analogies, they don't be hidden. So I'm going to backtrack that one. Definitely don't have buyer's remorse and Ray. Jealous, biased, speaking. Yeah. Harvey will be fine and take over. Dobbins can't stay healthy. Totally fair. These are fair things. And I will say that while I don't buy the stuff of like no team had signed Dobbins, like he wasn't even wanted, like a team was going to sign J.K. Dobbins, dude. The Cowboys would love to have J.K. Dobbins right now. But yeah, I agree. One of those, Sean Payton even talked about, didn't he had a quote or something where he talked about the draft being the lifeblood of like the team or whatever. Bro, really? Jacoby Myers, we got to stack up our freaking wide receiver 3. It's annoying. I guess we got to do this. In December, drinking hot China. I guess this is fine. All right, guys, how do we feel about the Noah Fant signing? Should that be turning me off of? Wait, do I like some of these running backs? I actually kind of like Braylon Allen. Wait a second. Miss another practice. Love seeing that. Okay, actually, Miles Sanders is kind of interesting. Okay, nursing knee bruisedness. All right, Mason Taylor or Mike Gesicki. Let's do this. And maybe we can get both at the next turn. Probably not. 192. I will say ADPs are kind of interesting in weekly winners just because people care so much about stacking. And they'll avoid certain players if it doesn't like make sense with what they're trying to build. Everyone sees what he can do, but they just can't stay healthy. True, true, true. What kind of scenario could you see selling Marv for Addison and Mims? Oh. You have to fade Gesicki, save Fant for the very end. I will say the one thing about Fant is that it is just so obvious what he is just like the pass catching tight end. But Gesicki was pretty good for them last year, man. Also, I probably don't even need 3 tight ends. So maybe that should have just been Mason Taylor. Because if my weekly winners lineup, if the guy I took at the 24 spot is not hitting my tight end position, and I'm counting on a tight end to fill up my flex, we've lost. If you're asking, like, I have to build out a crazy scenario where I would actually do this, I don't think I can, man. And you could talk me into this. Addison and Marv being closer in fantasy points per game for this next season than people are expecting. I could get behind that, and I could get that. But if they scored the exact same, and it was like moderately disappointing, a little bit depending on how it happened, Marv would still only fall half a round around. See, he doesn't block. Fant can. Yeah, he's fine. But yeah, I think Gesicki is just a big wide receiver 3. And I have Burrow. I did want to double stack Burrow. Like, Burrow hitting the weekly winners lineup with just Chase is possible, and probably did happen a couple times last season with like the crazy spike week Chase games. But having Burrow, especially if I'm stopping at 2 quarterback, but having Burrow go 4 touchdowns and it's like 2 Chase, 1 Gesicki, that is like such a nasty start for my weekly winners lineup, you know? Because then Bowers could even flex because my wide receivers are weak. Oh, I do need to start hitting more receivers. Jeez. I didn't even realize how bad these were. We do this again? I'm not doing Sam Darnold. All right. I guess it's just running backs the rest of the way. I actually don't mind Michael Wilson just as far as like routes go. Give me some routes. And then you could talk me into Keenan. We just took Keenan the last one. This is probably... let's just go Keenan. I want to up my Keenan percentage just so that I can get excited when he signs somewhere. Fant will be on the field over Gesicki. I don't know about that. Diaz, I think we are in the same boat. I think we are both Fant athleticism believers. And I do think that the like Fant being cut is not this dude cannot be a starting tight end in the NFL. But they just extended Gesicki. He was pretty good for them last year. 0.0 Ibuka. All right, give me the negative Ibuka take, Diaz, because I've just been juicing myself with all the Ibuka hype. I love Ibuka. Oh wait, are we upset about it? I kind of want to hear like a Ibuka fade take. Not because I'm gonna destroy you with my facts, but just because I'm curious what the take is. Bindles, what's good, guys? I'm trying to get. I will say, Bindles. I know you're a busy Thursday afternoon night guy. Guys, go check out Bindles' channel. Bindles is a best ball boy. Dynasty? Would you say best ball boy dynasty at heart? Or are they both at the core of your heart, Bindles? But definitely check out Bindles' channel. He be doing live streams and dynasty content as well. We'll have to get him on a show sometime. But we'll see. I digress. Late 26 first plus Fanon or Ibuka. 0.75, 10 in premium. I'm probably just taking Ibuka. I'm taking Ibuka. I would pay a late first for Ibuka in every instance. 0.0 shares of Genti. Is this a dynasty thing or a best ball? I don't have any Genti, unfortunately. I mean, unfortunately, but also because I tanked a lot last season to try to hit the QB class and neighbors and Marv. But I have more neighbors than Marv, so we're chilling. Hoping I can get a share of Hampton during my home league. I will say Hampton goes late. He's like RB16 or something on like the redraft platforms. Definitely be hitting up Hampton in the home leagues, guys. All right, last pick here. So weekly winners team: Burrow, Fields, Jacobs, Jones, Spears. Oh, okay. See, I look at this running back room and it makes me sad, and then I think the wide receiver room has to be better, and then it's not. All right, we have Chase, Terry, Diggs, Godwin, Burden, Kyle Williams, Michael Wilson, Keenan. We have Bowers and Gesicki. That's the price you pay when you take Burrow because you have to stack and go elite onesie. Oh, man, I do not like seeing Dontavian Wicks at the top of the queue. That's not getting me going. All right, low key. All right, I got scared. Oh, Kavonte Turpin. Oh, no. I didn't get him. This is what happens. Oh, Coker. I probably should have been a running back. I don't know why I went 9 receivers. All right. Where's my other? Okay, this is the Burrow team. Burrow, Chase, Ladd, Higgins, Ibuka, Mooney, Slayton. 4 tight ends. Also Gesicki, Jonnu, Pitts, Ferguson. Okay, let's get away from there for a second. James Conner, Caleb Johnson, Aaron Jones, J.K. Dobbins, DJ Giddens. Okay, this is the kind of faith Will has in J.K. Dobbins. I say all I need is a rookie running back after this. Yikes. It's a process thing. I only wanted 2 wide receivers going into the draft, pre-draft, 10 Hunter, so I traded back whenever Buka was on the board. That's fair. And I will say the late first, like in most leagues, like 0.5 plus, 0.75, 10 in premium, like getting to trade back and getting one of the running backs, getting Golden in the early second, Jackson Dart, like I have nothing wrong with that. Okay, I like Higgins too. I like Higgins. Dynasty always. I am only in 2 best ball leagues. Don't like them. That's fair. That's fair. I will say that I love the feeling of the draft, but yeah, I definitely care more about my dynasty leagues in season than I do my best ball leagues. Like I'm not like checking. I mean, I am, but I'm definitely checking my dynasty leagues way more than I'm checking my underdog teams. All right, let's hit this up. Really enjoy your cast every Thursday. I can make it. Doing good, bro. Sincere. I appreciate that. That means a lot, guys. If we want to get real, I mentioned this on the Pure Potential stream, but man, I was a young lad, really into Dynasty. I was doing video editing for. I did video editing for a mobile games YouTuber. Is what I was doing my video editing for, and I was cutting up TikToks for him. That's what I was spending my free time doing. And I was like, man, I just like my heart is not in mobile gaming. It is in like Dynasty content stuff. Had done some stuff with my friend. Shout out Canyon. We actually were the Flock Fantasy Basketball had a fantasy basketball channel. I'm sure you guys are not fantasy basketball people, but if you are, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, me and my boy Canyon were making fantasy flock basketball content, but my heart was also not in that. I like fantasy basketball. Heart is in Dynasty. Heart is in fantasy football. So all that being said, because the comment was nice, I wanted to give you some Will lore. I reached out to Jeremy Dynasty Daddy and was like, bang, put my heart on the line. I know you don't know me, bro. I don't know you, but like, I love your site, and here's what we can do together. And yeah, I'll say you're all in at the ground floor of the Dynasty Daddy takeover. I don't know how to end that, but I want to get real for you guys, you know. Ibuka downside case. Oh man, I'm gonna go heartfelt messaging, and I'm gonna pull up an Ibuka downside case. I did ask for it though, so it's fair. Baker regressed to mean. Worse out. Worse offense. Fair. No Cohen matters. Fair. Evans, Godwin healthy, and Bucky catches, and Ibuka gets buried. These are all fair and true. I will say that the nice thing about Dynasty though is we love giving excuses to rookie receivers, and if Ibuka is 60% or less snap share, route share, there will be excuses of wait until Evans retires. You know, extrapolate this target share and production over, you know, full season with 90+% route share. No glazing milk. Nah, guys, a little glaze is perfect. Just enough glaze. I'll let you know if it's too much. I'll give you one of these. I'll be like, hey, yo, pause, man. I'm married. But it is hard to imagine a situation where Ibuka doesn't retain. Yes, okay. That's. I didn't read the second chat, so I just said your second chat, but good work, good work. Nice. That takes Ray, devil's advocate here. Next Evans. I would say next Godwin, but I guess that's kind of weird because Godwin is still going to be there. But I get what you're saying. You're probably saying in terms of. I do believe, I will say, this is not tomfoolery. The stuff about Ibuka being able to like catch and stride the yak stuff, that is true. Watch college tape. Gosh, I hate saying that, but it is true. And 2, being able to play every position, man. I believe it. Looks good. Yes, for sure. Oh, I'm still a believer, man. People will point to him outproducing neighbors and stuff. That is funny. That will be a funny remember this guy thing in a couple of years when people talk about that. I like the concept of best ball. It's cool, but no one trades right. Yeah, so the underdog drafts are like prize pool tournament structures. So it's like a pod of 12 teams is how they're mostly set up. And then so a lot of them are different, but it's like top 2 teams advance from your pod, the highest overall score for a full season, setting your perfect lineup. So it isn't the full team score. It is the perfect lineup your teams could have scored. So QB, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, flex, tight end for most of the best ball drafts. And then you get put in a new pod with the winners, you know, top 2 from that pod advance, top 1 from that pod advances to the finals. And that's week 17, 1 week is how most of them are set up. There's some different contests, but 1 week. And there's a whole like prize structure based off of that 1 week finish for your best ball team that advanced to that tournament. So it is fun and it is cool to follow, but it is, as far as like expected return on your hard-earned dollars, probably not the best, but close to the funnest. I will say close to the funnest. Is iconic lore. Hey, you guys were here at the ground floor, man. Imagine if when all your buddies are watching the Dynasty Daddy YouTube channel when we're at 40,000 subs, you can turn to them and say, bro, you weren't with me in Will's office when he was talking about how we sent that email to Jeremy. Poured his heart out. I did ask for it. I appreciate you guys. Not gonna lie, Will. You're really doing what I keep telling my wife I want to do. I'm here for it, and I'm glad I'm on the ground floor with this channel. Oh, DD Jeremy is the shit. Oh, shit. He did such an amazing job. Oh, incredible. And I every time somebody is like, yo, thank you so much. Love your site. I am like, stop. Jeremy. That dude is sick. And how about yeah, man, how about like the constantly improving stuff too? I mean, like him putting out the resources for right now we're working on the mobile app. Jeremy is working on the mobile app. I want to feel I'm a part of the Dynasty Daddy brand, but I'm not a part of the Dynasty Daddy hard work. Yeah, I am. Just different hard work, yeah. I did cry. 2026 has no good wide receivers, so might as well send the first for Aguka if you need a wide receiver. Interesting. I hear you. And I would say that the expectation, obviously, is the 27 class is the wide receiver class. I try not to jump the gun on like calling my shots on classes as far as like being super confident. But with that being said, even if it's not 100% accuracy, I will say that predictions for classes as far as like what positions are strong, for the most part, is decent. I think the quarterback, people saying the quarterback class is really bad, is kind of overstepping bounds and expectations, but that's fair. Will, you glossed over the Besh brother message. LOL, do you know what I'm talking about with his brother? I do know the like base story of like what had happened, and I heard like Pete Carroll talking about it. But I really try to not let that influence my draft selections. But all love, God bless. I was there 2,000 years ago, and Will cried and begged Jeremy to let him coat. Honestly, true. It is funny. It is funny because true is really what it is. I had sent. The start of it was shout out to Paul from Pure Potential. I had sent him a DM when I first saw his channel and was like, dude, like, I want to be you. Not actually, but that was the vibe of the message. I was like, dude, like the stuff you're doing, keep doing it, man. Like you're going to grow so much. Like this is the Dynasty content people want to see, you know, not just like buy low, sell high, like people actually talking through strategy, roster construction stuff. Like that is the fun part of Dynasty to me. Like the player takey stuff is stuff I'll do, and we just will all do as football fans, fantasy fans. But yeah, shout out to Paul, shout out to Jeremy, shout out to myself. Let's go like and subscribe. Yeah, I'm gonna end here soon. Don't worry, guys. The rambling will stop. 2026 is basically gonna be Love, Klepnik, Nuss, Norris, Aller, Singleton, and then like, yeah. The thing with the 26 class though is, and I've mentioned this before, so I'm not going to do a whole diatribe on it, but I mean, we can go back like previous classes. Like obviously people talk about like Neighbors and Jane Daniels, but there's examples in every classes of guys who you wouldn't even sniff. I mean, Matthew Golden wasn't even sniffing the second round of rookie drafts, you know, let alone the first round of the NFL draft, you know? So like these players have breakouts, you know, it is mostly tied to draft capital as well, which obviously is tied to production, but we see it all the time of players we had no expectation to be, you know, late first receivers or early second round running backs that jump into that tier. Yeah, that's fair. It is. I will say at the quarterback position. I mean, there are some quarterbacks I do like, but yeah, it is kind of interesting because the quarterback position I think is the one in Dynasty that is the toughest to like bang, snap my fingers, and I pay the price to get that position the way I want it. You could say receiver as well, and like obviously every elite position is tough, but I think quarterback is the one where it's like the middling tier. Like QB 7 through 15, just the way that people roster construct and like to have their cozy, comfy, this is going to be my quarterback for the next 6+ years. A lot of people do not want to trade the Purdys, the Trevor Lawrences, the Goffs, the guys who get extended and have stable jobs. So it is kind of a tough position, I will say, to look ahead. So I get that. You want to go over my shit team? Let's choose the 3 players to drop. Trade away to get me into roster limits. That sounds fun. It does sound fun. Do we want to do... We could do a... Do you guys want to do a SIL trade review? You guys want to look at my most recent trades? Let's see, what was my most recent one? Okay, this one you guys aren't going to like. I don't want to show you guys the ones you're not going to like. I don't think you guys are going to like either of these. I'm starting to dig deep. Maybe we shouldn't do this. I probably should end soon. Appreciate you all. Much love. My worst? Ooh, what's my worst team? All right, can you guys help me fix this orphan? Let's see. How do I do this? Wait, I have an idea. I have this browser that can like hide stuff. Or this extension. So I can hide the whole chat area. Okay, that was kind of a waste of time. But let's do... Does this work? All right, Dynasty Demon time, guys. I need your help. I took over this orphan. QB room, I will say kind of fun. QB room, kind of fun. Lamar, Fields. I probably should just go on Dynasty Daddy. Just part of it made sense for me to pull it on Sleeper. All right, Lamar, Fields, and Bryce Young. QB room. I'm down. I'm also down to move one of them. 1.5, 0.5 tight end premium. So 1.5 tight end premium. Kyron, I have the entire Dallas backfield. I have Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, Blue. I do not have Mafa. Guys, should I trade for Mafa just to collect the final Infinity Stone? I need to pick up Turpin. That's the last running back I need, actually. All right, we do have Tootin and Jarquez Hunter and Pat Bryant. We have Charbonnet. RB2 is the sketchiest part of the team. Kyron. Yeah, AJ Brown, Calvin Ridley, Juwan Jennings, Jerry Jeudy, Elisha Moore. All right, I don't think we're gonna do this right now. 15 is probably the worst, to be honest. Yeah, IDP. Guys, should I try to learn IDP? I don't know if I can do it. Wait, let's see how good this is. Look at this cool. Look at this browser or this extension. I can just hide stuff. Pretty sick, huh? All right, I have some people that have offered some interest in trading for Bryce Young, who I would be willing to move, but I would want a more insulated running back. Trying to do some kind of Bryce Young, Chase Brown swap to really go in. But a part of me is not sure if this team is ready. Lamar, Kyron, Chase Brown, AJ Brown, Calvin Ridley, and Njoku. We would have Juwan Jennings, Jerry Jeudy, Fields. I mean, it's nice. Oh, also we got our GOAT, Darren Waller. I can help you in voice chat. Ooh, that would be kind of fun. You know what we should do? We should try to make, and maybe this is a future stream thing. We should try to make, I want to figure out a good way to do like the collar stuff. Because I'm down to just hop into voice chats with people and talk through stuff. But I think trying to think. All right, it's 10:30 right now. If I don't have angry text from my wife, I will definitely do this. All right. This will be a fun future thing that we will do. Don't worry, everything is okay. But I will be ending stream. Much love. We will do some Discord hangouts in the near future. I'm looking forward to setting up the channels and stuff. So we'll definitely do like an invite only channel something, and then the Discord channels for the leagues would be cool too. But appreciate you all. Much love. Peace out. I don't know if I'll be here. Guys, I might be missing the next 2 Thursdays. I have a work trip and a golf trip. Dang. How do I... Any Boyz II Men fans? Say goodbye. All right, peace out. Much love. See you guys in the Discord. Join the Daddy Leagues. If you're not in there, signups are going to close any minute. I don't know. Jeremy doesn't know. You don't know. But they are going to close soon. So if you want to be in these leagues, get busy. All right, peace out. Later, brother. As always, great trips. Hey, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Much love. Much love. Peace out, boys. YouTube live from the app. Heck yeah. All right, peace out. See you next Tuesday. Tuesday night live stream. I will be there for that.